Hi, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I just thought I was going through my archives this morning on one of my hard drives and loading things onto it from another computer and also seeing what was on the hard drive. And I came across the footage I'm about to show you. It's both video and stills from a trip that we did to Sydney in 2005 to visit my son and his wife over there. He was studying in the Australian Film and Television and Radio School while he was there. But we had a lovely time in Sydney, and we went to the Taronga Park Zoo, and they have a bird show there whereby they have trained birds and they have an audience and they put these birds through their paces, mainly Australian birds, and it's just a wonderful display. They still do it. I'm going to put a link underneath to the website where you can, if you're in Australia, you can go and see this display. It's still happening, even though we went in 2005. The video was shot with my Canon XL1, and the stills that you'll see at the end of after the video was shot on my Pentax IST-TD, which was my first Pentax digital SLR camera. and I got some reasonable shots with that, even though some are a little bit blurry. I haven't done a lot of editing of this video because I wanted to keep the dialogue going with the shots as well. And I was moving the camera around, watching the flights of birds and watching audience reaction and all that sort of thing. So bear with me. It's worth watching this video, and you'll see some still shots because I couldn't take both stills and video at the same time. You'll see some still shots at the end, particularly towards the end. There's a little girl there who's got a beautiful expression on her face as this bird is coming and landing on her wrist and exchanging things with her. So look out for that one right towards the end. So, without further ado, we'll launch into the video, and I hope you enjoy it. Australia's got about 800 or more species of birds. I think it's 800, yeah. And some of these are the Australian parrots and owls, and there's also an Andean condor, I think, is in there as well, which is not an Australian bird, of course. So anyway, enjoy, watch, enjoy, like if you like, subscribe if you wish, and I'll see you next time. I won't sign off at the end of the video. That'll just fade to black probably, or something like that. So I'll see you later.
Foot on a splinter. He cried out in pain, and all the other birds came to help him, all except the cranky old crow. Painfully, the splinter turned into a colourful blister, which got bigger and bigger, until suddenly a big bird pushed through the others and popped it with his sharp beak. The blister splashed over all the birds, and that's how they got injured. All except the cranky old crow.
G'day, how is everybody today? Come on, it's Australia Day, you can do better than how you doing? Yeah, there you are. Hello, my name's Brendan, and I'd like to welcome you not only here to Taronga Zoo, but also our QB Free Flight Bird Show. If you're here to see some birds, you're in luck because Australia's got over 800 different types. The Dreaming Story shows you they come in a whole bunch of different colours, but more than that, there's different shapes, different sizes. As far as I'm concerned, every single one of the birds that you're about to see has its own incredible ability. That's what I want to share with you today, kicking it off with one of Australia's tallest flying birds. It is a type of crane known as the Taronga. Its larger cousin is the Saris crane. It's one of the tallest flying birds in the world. Ours goes by the name of Billy. If you cast up there, you'll see our wonderful progress. She makes her way down the stage on what will be 2 meters worth of wings. It's a very long landing gear. Froggies are very well known for their dancing, so they're going to use that dance to either attract a mate or to defend a patch of land. With long, slender legs like that, it helps Billy out in other ways as well. She can walk through the grasses looking for locusts to eat, or as a wetland species, she can wade through waterways looking for things like tadpoles or frogs, maybe the occasional yabby, and the whole time she keeps those feathers high and dry. That red patch on the back of her head, that's important also, so that's all the Tarongas know that she's mature and on the lookout for a very special friend. And to tell you what, with long sexy legs like that, I don't think she's got much to worry about. It's good luck, Billy. It's just a jam later. Now, as far as those cranes are concerned, with 15 right across the globe, you cannot be, we're pretty lucky to have 2 species here in Australia. When it comes to our parrots though, with over 50 different types, we get the nickname, the land of parrots. Cockatoos are some of the more recognisable, like the softer crested cockatoos, or red-tailed black cockatoos like Kajandi. I know Kajandi's a girl because she's covered in those yellow dots, whereas the boys, more mature, are solid black with a solid red tail. This is Geary, his name does mean red, and you'll get to appreciate this fancy fiery red tail flying close to your heads. Now that bird is doing very well here at Taronga, but unfortunately the same can't be said for many of his mates, and that includes the forest red tail and the Carnaby's cockatoo over in Western Australia. That's because we clear trees. Hey bud. To make our homes, unfortunately, we don't leave hollows for these birds to raise their young, so their numbers are dropping. On the flip side though, it isn't all doom and gloom. There are some changes that we make that work out really well for parrots. Instead of trees, we may plant crops, so for birds like sulphurs, corellas, galahs, there are extra food resources for them. If we want to make sure though that that bird's going to be around and flying into our future, not disappearing, it really does come down to our everyday actions. He's done a great job though, and I think he knows it. For the birds we have seen so far, generally they're looking for their food during the day. But if I was to ask you which birds more than any other hunt at night, you'd say? Is that what you're going to say? Fantastic, you can have 100 points. It is ours, they're exceptional hunters. So we're going to put the hearing of our barn out to the test today with the sounds of frogs. You'll hear them over the speakers, but we're going to have those sounds come from behind one of these two rocks on stage. Keep it there though, we're going to the middle, so that's you, stay where you are. Don't have to do much, all you have to do is one, tell what your name is. Alana, you having a good day? Fantastic. Second of all, you just have to tell me where you want my owl to fly to. Completely up to you. Do you want my owl to fly to that rock over there, or to that rock over there? That one there. Thank you very much, Alana. What we're going to do is I'll come over here, we'll get those sounds playing through my tape recorder, and I'll get everyone else to turn around and look up the back. You may notice, in amongst all that bamboo, there is a hollow log. That is where Howard the barn owl is. He's coming out for his lunch. So, let's see how he goes.
There's the owl. Coming here for his mum. Daddy?
Pretty cool, huh?
And mum? There's the owl. They usually are night time out.
So he can hear those sounds from all the way at the back. He doesn't even have to see his prey in order to find where it is. And a big part of that has to do with the design of the space, where it looks like a heart shape, but it acts like a radar dish, so it picks up various sounds in his environment, which get pushed back to the enormous ears he has hidden underneath all those gorgeous white feathers. That means that on the darkest of nights, he can find his food without ever having to see it. The other thing you may have noticed about Howard is when he flew down, he did so silently. That's because he's covered in soft feathers that fringe along the edges, so it does muffle the sound he makes when he's flying around, making him so quiet, he can sneak up on his prey without ever knowing that he's coming. Don't believe me though, test it out yourself, see if you can hear anything else. Howard takes himself home. Did we hear anything? No, he's very quiet. Now, what time do we say it helps them hunt? Oh, come on, what time? That's right, night time, but actually around half the world's species of owls are active during the day. That does surprise a lot of people. In Australia, with 8 different types, it's the barking owl. It doesn't more than any other. This is Ripley, and she too will fly close. Now, the reason these birds are out during the day is because of what they eat. They're bird hunters. So, it's okay. They're going to sit, wait, and watch. And when they find what they want, they'll explode into action. And get there to pack a punch. Speed works very well for Ripley, but it's not the only thing she has to rely on. She heads back over to Damien. Try and have a look at those feet. They're pretty big. You'll get a very close look at them, because her feet, don't say, oh no, she's gorgeous. Her feet this big. She can take down small birds like starlings and miners, but as well as that, she can even take down a bird around the same size as herself. So that means something like a tawny frogmouth, or a soft crested cockatoo we saw earlier, could end up with a dinner plate for this very efficient hunter. To cap it all off though, you will notice she does have some very large yellow eyes, and they take up about 3/4 of the space in her head. Think about that for one tick. If weirdos that big, it would be like having softballs for eyes. It'd be so jammed in your skull, it really wouldn't leave you much room for anything else. Not an issue for this bird though, no room for eye muscles, but instead, because she can't move those eyes, she has double the amount of neck bones that you or I have. Where we have 7, she has 14, and that means she can turn her head upside down or backwards, nearly 3/4 of the way around. She can spot those birds, and incredibly, even pest species like rats and mice. She has done a great job though, so thank you Damien, and thank you Ripley. I love having those birds around though, and a big part of that does have to do with the effect they have on rats and mice. When it comes to rats and mice, they get into nests, they destroy eggs. It's even true to say that here at the bird show we used to have a little bit of a rat problem ourselves. Now luckily for me, that was a while ago. I know I say that people get excited, but don't worry about it. I know! Owls moved in, rats moved out. I can honestly say that problem's behind us now. I know it's a great thing. I can see a few of you pointing out, saying Ripley's #1. I know, I completely agree with you. #1. Fantastic. Sometimes it did take a little bit of time for that problem to wind itself up. Did we see 4? We saw 4. Very good. They get as much love and care as all the other animals down here at Bird Show. Now those owls, they are very silent, very stealthy, so we don't get to see them very often. There are some other birds, my favourite in fact, that a little less obvious to us, along the same lines, but rather than being known for being elusive, they're known for their speed. I'm talking about the falcons. We're going to be joined by Matt. He's going to be working with Pez, our Australian hobby, also known as the little falcon. Now the first thing Pez is going to do is he's going to work on gaining some height. In Matt's hand, he's holding a leather lure. He'll start to swing that in a second, and Pez's job is to try and catch him. So when he's in a good position, he'll drop through the air, start chasing it, and you'll see he starts to pick up some speed. Doing this, he drops through the air like a hot knife through butter. And if you think this bird is pretty zippy, here he goes. It's actually his cousin, the peregrine falcon, that's even faster. Being the fastest animal on the planet, the peregrine falcon can go at speeds of 385 kilometres an hour. So that's incredibly fast. Now you notice Pez doesn't get it on the first pass, he's got to keep working at it. But this is a very fast-paced, risky lifestyle. Many of these birds won't even make it to age 1. The slightest injury will rule them out. Looks like he's got it though, he puts on the brakes, there's Pez.
Hey, wasn't that good, eh?
Now even when he's caught his prize, you can see he's using those very powerful talons. He wants to make sure that if he catches something, even if it isn't food, he doesn't let it go, because it really could be life and death for him. If it isn't food, doesn't matter. When he thinks about opening those feet, he'll do so, and he can just get rid of whatever it is. But if it is food, he doesn't want to lose it. So they are very powerful, specially designed feet. Have a look at him while he comes around though, because he's not the largest of birds that we have here in Australia. He only weighs around 200 grams. So that's about the mass minority that you may pick up from the supermarket. Out of interest, the smallest bird in Australia only weighs 6 grams. They are incredibly light, and smaller still, a bird in Cuba only 2 grams. Birds, feathers, hollow bones, air sacs, it makes them very light. But for Pez to fly like he did today and keep doing it day after day after day, he has to eat around 20% of his body weight every day. Now that may not sound like a lot to you, but if I was to eat 20% of my body weight today, that would be me chowing down on 80 Big Mac burgers. So that is a lot of food, not something I'd like to try anytime soon, but little Pez there, he takes it in his stride. He's done a great job though, so thank you Matt, and thank you Pez. An awesome bird, found coast to coast, but they're pretty hard to spot as we already mentioned. There are some other birds though that are far more obvious to us. They're cute and comical and even thought of as being a tad foolish. It's the galah. This here is Jasper, and we'd like to prove that Jasper is nobody's fool. So for this part of the show, I need the help of one of you in the audience, someone up the back with a gold coin. I need to see the money, the gentleman in the green. If you wouldn't mind standing up for me where you are. hold that coin straight out to your side. That's fantastic. Stay nice and still for me. What we'll do is we're going to send Jasper on up. He's going to say g'day, land, take your money, bring it all the way back down to me. Where's it go, Jasper? My pockets. So thank you, have a good day. Well, that worked very well, but I'm a nice bloke. I want to do that one more time. I need one more volunteer, but this time, who's got 20 bucks? Thank you for being keen. You keep your money. What we will do is we're going to make an honest bird out of Jasper. Honesty is the best policy. If you can stand up for me one more time, arm out to your side. We'll get Jasper, head all the way up. Place it exactly where she found it. Thank you. Thanks, Jasper. Pretty cool, and part of how we get that reputation of the land of parrots here in Australia is definitely something we can celebrate. Depending upon where you go in the world though, there's different birds that you're going to celebrate. For example, over in South America, there's a type of vulture that was believed by the Incan culture that would lift the sun into the sky every single day. And it could do so because it had a 3-metre wingspan. So it didn't only undertake the important role of looking after the environment, being a scavenger, but that role too. Not mythical at all, one that you can see today. Luckily for you, even here in Australia, we have Leslie, our Andean condor. Cast your eyes up that way. She's coming down to join us at 3 metres tip to tip. Leslie's a big bird, but that's because she's got a big job. These birds found along the west coast of South America, Argentina, Chile, Peru, they'll fly for kilometres on end, hours at a time looking for their food. I say food and not prey because they don't kill it themselves, they rely on something else to do it for them. When they find it, they get at working inside. Now you notice she has that bold, beautiful head. That means she can get in and out of whatever it is that she's eating. Any muck that gets on her face, dries, flakes it off, she doesn't have any health issues herself. Now, depending upon the type of vulture that you are, you're going to eat different parts of the carcass. Some will eat the raw fleshy hides. Others, they'll take the bones, fly high, drop them, so they can crack open those bones and get to the marrow. So they work together to ensure every bit of that carcass is devoured. Leslie, you've done a fantastic job. So all you have to do is exit. Stay straight. She's an awesome bird. She's around 13 years at the moment, but she could live up until her 70s. That's a very long time that she's going to be around having an effect on nature. We know she's doing something though, albeit maybe a little bit gross. We can take a page out of her book and do something else. That could be as simple as what Fitzroy would like to show us. He's proud, especially on a day like today where we are going to be celebrating, and he knows that if he sees rubbish around, even if it isn't his, there's something that he can do to help. That is, walk on over to it, pick it up, and with pride, pop it in the bin. If he can do that, I challenge every single one of you seated here today to do the same. It doesn't have to be big. Put that rubbish in the bin. Turn off the telly when you finish watching it. Or around this time of year, or any time really, choose less plastic. Small actions together have a big impact. And now I'm sure that sites like this will have a huge impact. I'd like to leave with one final thought before you head off today, and that is remember where you live, whether it be the city or the bush, please remember, look up for me, and I guarantee you, don't keep on chugging. Questions down to me, otherwise, have a great Australia Day here at Taronga Zoo. See you next time, everybody.
Wow, bird, the bird flying. Wow. Come on, sir. Bye-bye, bird. Bird sleeping. See? Bird sleeping. Come on.